Hey guys, I'm Dr. Assam and I am a board certified weight loss doctor, and I own my own weight loss practice in Lewisville, Texas. In this video, I'm going to share with you why I think 2026 is the best time to start or finally pursue or maybe see that weight loss resolution come through. In other words, pull through till the very end. So there's a Chinese Chinese proverb, which I wanted to refer to, and that is that the best time to plant a seed was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. So, spoiler alert, but it's quite simple. Now is as good as time as ever to take more control over your health, and if that includes weight loss, then this is the year to achieve that. Now, when I say achieve that, that means so many things. So I wanted to start off the video by introducing myself, and then we'll talk about the wake-up moment that I had that inspired me to pick up the camera and share with you guys my journey. And if you stick around till the end of the video, then I will share some optimism about how you can start experiencing the benefits of weight loss, and there's so many, within 1 week, and this is scientifically proven. So, without further ado, I went to med school in 2010, so long ago, and over the past 16 years, I have treated thousands of patients. And I think something that has become more and more evident, especially in the last decade, is overweight and a condition called obesity, which is quite complex, and I'm going to try to break it down. Maybe I'll touch on it in this video, but we can dive in more details in another video. And the consequences of overweight and obesity that are so significant that it makes up about 60% of the healthcare expenditure in the US. And I'm talking about 13 different types of cancers and hundreds of conditions which overweight contributes to, and many of which can be reversed with weight loss. And so this is one of the reasons why I think 2026 is an absolutely, of course, the best time to start this weight loss journey. And it starts, the best time to start is today. So what was my wake-up moment? And I may share the video right here on camera. But ironically, despite being board certified in both internal medicine and obesity medicine, I found myself over the last year gaining weight. Now, it crept up on me until I finally stood on this scale after having a recent primary care appointment, and found that I am overweight. Lo and behold, it's the reality. I think it is the reality for many people. The fact that it creeps up on you, but it was sort of a wake-up call. And so I decided to challenge myself and come up with a strategy that applies to me and probably applies to thousands of other individuals in similar circumstance, by documenting the journey and also sharing it on YouTube, with the intention that it may inspire or may help provide educational content, perhaps new findings in the world of weight loss medicine, and provide real tips in a very rapidly evolving society. And they're evolving, and not always in the best way. Quite simply, if you look at, even on YouTube, if you spend a lot of time on YouTube, you will find that videos, sometimes I watch those videos of Chicago or New York City in the 60s or 70s. I think even before that, way before that, I'm talking 30s and 40s. It was black and white, and sometimes recreated on with all kinds of technology, but people were generally slim. I think overweight and obesity was the exception, whereas nowadays, and this is documented, that the average weight is going up, especially for people with, well, let me put it this way, especially for people with desk jobs, but also predominantly in people who are of a relatively lower income. And that could be for so many reasons, which I'll talk about in other videos. But what was I getting to? The wake-up moment. I stood on the scale, I found myself the heaviest I've ever been, actually. And so I decided to do something about it and share the journey. So that brings us to this video. So in the next couple minutes, I'll talk about the benefits of weight loss that may not have occurred to you or other viewers. And then I will end with how you can get started in 2026 with weight loss. And spoiler alert, it is a marathon, not a sprint, especially if you want to see sustained results, which is what you do want. You don't want to bounce back, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So what are some of the benefits of weight loss? And I think, to keep it quite short, besides wanting to appear active, besides wanting to appear handsome or beautiful, whatever, that one is obvious. But let me put it this way. You may feel more confident, you may fit into your favorite clothes, you may find that there's more availability of different types of clothing, different sizes, experiment with different fits. I know that I would love to fit into my wedding suit, to be honest, 3 years ago, which is quite tight. And I know that because I tried it on for some interviews recently. But I'm sure many of you would want to fit into some of your favorite old suits or dresses. So that one is obvious, but let's talk about two big ones, two that are just so significant, I don't know how to express it. But losing weight can help you, will almost certainly, except in some rare conditions, help you improve your blood pressure. Why is this a big deal? Is because hypertension, or high blood pressure, is the commonest disease in the world. It is also known as the silent killer. It leads to, it is the #1 risk factor, in fact, for stroke. And we all know someone, or someone, maybe a relative or a friend or friend of friends, who's had a stroke, and it is debilitating. It is costly, and to a large degree, it is preventable by controlling blood pressure. Now, what I suggest, what I submit, is that rather than treating blood pressure by prescribing more and more pills, which may, which may improve the numbers, but without tackling the root cause, in this case, overweight and obesity, then you're really kicking the can down the road, as they say. So, benefit number 2, improvement in blood pressure. Benefit number 3, and another big one, improvement in blood sugar control. Did you know that being overweight essentially leads to diabetes mellitus type 2? The diabetes that may eventually require insulin. And insulin may be relatively more affordable, but the whole, being diabetic, needing medications, it's costly. If you add up all of the care that you may need over a lifetime, or the rest of your lifetime, and the medication, the hospital visits, and the stress, being diabetic is costly. And so, without doubt, losing weight improves your sugar control. And just these 2 medical reasons, and perhaps 3 reasons alone, can help us on a community level, on a national level, international level, really, and we'll get all into that another time, but can help us decrease the cost of healthcare and the cost to the individual, and of course live healthier and higher quality lives. So tons of other benefits to weight loss, but I wanted to touch on these to start off, and to encourage you to lose weight, of course, safely, which we'll talk about this year in 2026. So how can you get started on weight loss in 2026? I think number 1, forget everything you have learned about weight loss. And I think that applies to the majority of people, especially people that, in all honesty, people I see in the clinic and the hospital are generally sick people. I generally don't see well patients. But I'm assuming there's a lot of misinformation out there about weight loss. Hey, take this pill. Hey, take this supplement. Hey, take this shot. Do this exercise or this technique, and you will drop the pounds really quickly. And while there may be some truths out there, but my advice is to kind of just, especially if you want to follow this channel, and if you want my perspective, I would just start from scratch. And to be honest, I say that because when I studied obesity and overweight for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and had to take several examinations, board certification, etc., everything that I thought I knew about obesity and overweight, I almost knew nothing. I think I just knew the basics, and I was like, I'm an internist before I was an obesity specialist. Like many internists, like many general physicians, I think many older generation doctors, I kind of wrote it off. In other words, I would see an overweight patient and I would sort of even, sort of just paint a picture in my head and think, you really just need to exercise more. And there's truth to that. But it is just one part of a very complex picture. And I'm so sorry for shaking the camera so much. I will invest in a tripod and everything. But so forget everything. That is my number 1 tip, especially if you want to follow this channel. which is the purpose of this video, right? I wouldn't post a 15-minute long video encompassing everything to do with weight loss in just 15 minutes. It would take hours at the very least. Number two, make the intention. So it's a great time of the year to make intention, New Year's resolutions, but make it, again, you may have made it last year, you may have made it the year before, but the fact that you've found this video means that you are interested in weight loss, and I applaud you for making that intention again, or whether it's your first time, but for most of us, including myself, it's not the first time that I start off the year and I say, you know, this year I'm going to lose weight. So that's number two, make the intention. Number three, be okay with small wins. In other words, it's not all or nothing. When you go on this weight loss journey, and which will, ultimately be a healthy lifestyle journey, it's not simply weight loss, but focusing on weight loss, you are going to lose some and you're going to gain some, but as long as the goal is to have a downwards trend, and I'll explain why in a second. But be okay with those small wins. Be okay. Don't be harsh with yourself when you check the scale on Wednesdays, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do weigh-in Wednesdays, and it goes up a little bit. Or let's say you crashed and had a all-you-can-eat buffet, or a Brazilian churrascara kind of dine out, which is what I did earlier today. Don't beat yourself up, but the small wins, count them and celebrate them, but don't celebrate them with like dessert. Okay, we need to come up with something less calorious. But let's get to the meat of the question. What can I do to get started? If you had to walk away from this video with one tip, and even if you never watched another video, it does boil down to calorie deficit. Okay, so calories in must be less than calories out. If I had to boil it down to one truth, weight loss is achieved with a calorie deficit. Now, how to do that, that's quite complex. We have to talk about it, and I hope to shed some light on the major issues that can help you decrease calories in and increase calories out over the next following videos. But that is the perhaps one truth about weight loss. It is about calorie deficit. And lastly, I wanted to give you some optimism. Yeah, perhaps the video was heavy, and it's like, oh my gosh, can I do this? This is serious. It sounds really tough. Maybe I made it sound tough, but because truly it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that weight loss is easy. For a select few of very lucky individuals, I think it's easy. But for most of us, it's not easy. So what is that piece of optimism that I wanted to give you, walking away from this video, is that the benefits of weight loss can occur as early as 1 week from making that intention, from losing just a handful of pounds, fractions of kilograms. And these benefits that I'm talking about include insulin sensitivity, for example, liver health, just days to weeks, even up to 1 week since starting your weight loss journey. In other words, what I'm saying is that if you're 300 pounds, you do not need to wait until hitting 200 pounds or 250 pounds before your body starts feeling healthier. No, indeed, even if you lose just 5%, and 5% is a big deal, but even 3 to 5% of your body weight, which can happen quite quickly, and we'll talk about strategies in another video, your body will start experiencing the benefits, the health benefits of this journey that you decided to take in 2026. So with all that said, if you found this video inspiring, if it speaks to you, then follow this channel, as I would love to get feedback, and as well as share with you very, very important tips regarding weight loss. Some secrets which are in plain sight, which some of my patients, they surprise me. It's like, you didn't know that? But no, it's there's just a lot of information to benefit, which I'd love to share with you. So follow me along this journey. I'll be losing weight myself. I'll be documenting everything I do, and we can lose weight together, be healthier together, and make this, the best year. Well, it's the only year we got, so just make it the best that we can do. All right, this is Dr. Assam, and I'll see you in the next video, where I wanted to discuss how not to lose weight. In other words, about 6 things that I did in 2025 that led me to being overweight, probably reaching obesity category, especially for Asian genetics. So thank you very much.